So everything was live on 5, and that's when the cameras really danced and sung, and just wonderful. And those been great years. They've been wonderful years, and I kind of hate to see them close. Just about 20 minutes left of a wonderful era, of a great time for Southern California, for KTLA, and all the people that work there. I think I'm going to miss it.
Well, thank you. Well, we're not going to go away completely. Remember, 10:45, we're going to be shutting this thing down, and if you're having problems with your analog system, just refilter those channels, recycle it. It will work in the end. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay.
Stan's getting antsy. You see that? He's got the handle right there, ready to go.
You're right. Well, believe it or not, the switch to all digital TV has actually been in the works since 1987. Effort gained momentum after the September 11th terrorist attacks in 2001. Lawmakers wanted to replace analog television so that some of the airwaves could be allocated to emergency broadcasts. Now, earlier we showed you the rich history of KTLA over 62 years of broadcasting, even through the eyes of our legendary newsman, Stan Chambers.
That's right, and KTLA has truly been on the leading edge of television news in the areas of news gathering technology and live event coverage.
So on this evening of the official switch to digital TV, here's one more glance over the shoulder at our amazing, pioneering work delivered daily here at KTLA.
Western America's first television station.
As the first TV station west of the Mississippi, KTLA brought game-changing innovations to news gathering, including the first ever news helicopter.
And exclusive report from the world's only telecopter.
What today has become a required news tool for covering traffic, police pursuits, and other emergencies was actually created by two KTLA engineers. They converted a Bell 47 helicopter in their backyard in 1958 for the KTLA news team, and was put to the test, covering the devastating Brentwood fires in 1961.
Drops its load, and we all pray that it hits.
KTLA's Eye in the Sky gave LA viewers an exclusive bird's eye view when the Baldwin Hills Reservoir burst in 1963. It documented the explosive scene as Los Angeles was torn apart by the Watts riots in the summer of 1965.
Looters are having a field day here.
And in 1969, when a Scandinavian Air DC-8 fell out of the sky off the coast of Malibu, it was KTLA's helicopter overhead.
At least 30 survivors have been rescued. 4 bodies have been found, and another 11 are still missing.
KTLA has also had a long, storied history of firsts in LA sports. Some have been silly, like Bowling for Dollars, Demolition Derby, and something called Moto Polo. And some have been enormous crowd pleasers, like Roller Derby, and the earliest days of professional wrestling.
Now coming into our view is the Continental Nobleman, the Brute of Abruzzi, the Baron Michel Leone.
And some have been a natural fit, like Angels Baseball, from station and team owner the legendary Gene Autry.
I'm back in the saddle again.
Sportscasting great Dick Enberg reported for KTLA on the fairy tale title runs of the UCLA Bruins with Wooden, Alcindor, and Walton. The station brought the LA Kings' dramatic Stanley Cup semifinals victory over the Maple Leafs in 1993. And when Dodger pitcher Hideo Nomo threw his historic no-hitter in 1996, KTLA aired every pitch.
Hideo Nomo, he has not only shut out the Rockies, he has pitched a no-hitter.
But KTLA's biggest achievements have come through serving Los Angeles in times of crisis. The station brought the news when Southern California was rocked by the 7.3 magnitude Tehachapi earthquake in 1952. The viewer tradition of turning to KTLA continued through the 6.6 Silmar quake in 1971 and the devastating 6.7 Northridge quake in 1994.
The refrigerator in our kitchen just blew out into the living room. I mean, stuff was shaking, the walls were cracking.
And earlier, the entire KTLA news team came together for what would prove to be the most devastating weather disaster in Los Angeles history, the El Nino storms of 1982 and 1983.
Many residents had to be evacuated.
KTLA chronicled every dramatic turn as the storm surf, the flash floods, and the mudslides caused $300 million in property damage and left 14 dead.
But even with all the work, South Broadway is still a scene of tremendous devastation.
Community crisis coverage, crowd-pleasing events, news-gathering innovations, 6 decades of television firsts that have made KTLA the Southern California news leader.
Wow, a lot of history there during the analog era. Well, with the digital transition, retailers, they're hoping for a boost in sales of smaller TV sets. They figure that consumers would want to upgrade secondary sets in bedrooms and spare rooms that are not connected to cable or satellite service, and that would call for smaller over-the-air digital TVs. So are you still confused by this big switch that's going to about, what, a few minutes away, right?
Seems that way, yeah, just about. Hopefully Kurt the Cyber Guy can clear up any questions with a little help from his Geek Tourage.
It is a historic day, and I'm inside of a Best Buy because the Geek Squad have been helping people out with DTV for a long time. The countdown is on. Stan Chambers will be throwing the switch in just a little while, and I'll tell you now, at 10:45 p.m. tonight, it is coming. We are going all digital. Analog is over, and here are some final tips for you from the Geek Squad. Gene?
Hi, position your antenna so you can get the best reception.
And then with the antenna,
you might need an amplified antenna. It might cost a little bit more, but you're going to get more channels as a result.
And at the end of this all, what do we need to do, Jerome?
You want to continue to rescan to check for your channels.
Rescan, rescan, rescan. The phones are ringing now. We've got a number. You can call here. You can also call the FCC. It's 888-225-5322. For more information, there are a number of walk-in centers throughout Southern California. We are going digital. We need you to come with us. Back to you guys.
All right, Kurt the Cyber Guy. KTLA has, of course, been the TV leader here in Los Angeles throughout the entire 62-year history of the analog age.
And one man, Stan Chambers, has stood at the epicenter of every important news story every step of the way. Megan Henderson takes a look back.
Now from KTLA News Control, here is Stan Chambers. Let's see how the traffic is doing.
Legendary LA newsman Stan Chambers came to KTLA the year the station began in 1947. And all of Southern California was captivated by Stan's live coverage in 1949 when rescue workers fought desperately to save the life of 3-year-old Kathy Fiscus. She'd fallen into a water well in San Marino.
The word was that she was dead. And everybody broke into tears. Everybody was quiet.
In November of 1961, KTLA made television history with the first ever live fire coverage. Blazes ravaged Brentwood and Bel Air over 2 days, destroying 456 homes. And it was, of course, Stan Chambers on the scene covering the inferno in his suit and tie.
My girlfriend's father.
In 1965, the LAPD's arrest of a black man sparked the devastating Watts riots.
Stan Chambers was on the scene with Channel 5's Telemobile.
And once again, it was Stan in the thick of things at the LAPD's riot command post.
What is the latest information that you received in your conversation with 77th Street?
It's one of containment now.
In the summer of 1968, Robert F. Kennedy was a presidential hopeful when he was gunned down on a campaign stop at LA's Ambassador Hotel. Los Angeles, as always, looked to Stan Chambers to sort out the chaos they were watching.
And there he was shaking hands with some of the kitchen help. And that's when the shooting took place.
Stan was close enough to feel the heat at the Baldwin Hills fires in 1985.
In fact, that home is gone. John, turn right behind you there. Can you see that? That home is completely gone.
He brought LA a strange rescue story in 1986 when a light plane was tangled in the high-tension wires above Ontario.
Coming down, I can see very close. He's holding onto the ropes gently.
And when the Pontiff cruised LA streets in the Pope Mobile in 1987, Stan was just a few rosary beads away.
And driving on down, and of course followed by the Secret Service.
Even during the most divisive moments in LA history, it's been Stan Chambers' calm, measured voice to bridge the gap. In 1991, Stan delivered a KTLA exclusive with video from amateur videographer George Halliday as 4 LAPD officers beat Rodney King after a traffic stop.
Late last Saturday night and early Sunday morning, there was a police pursuit here in the Lakeview Terrace area.
Yet after a KTLA exclusive interview with the still battered King,
I thought they were going to kill me. That's what I thought.
And Stan's coverage from above the riots following the not guilty verdict.
2 car fires just broke out here at the corner of Normandy and Florence.
Can we all get along? Can we get along?
It was images of LA citizens coming together in the aftermath to clean up that put a hopeful punctuation point on the entire sad Rodney King chapter. For his decades of history-making news coverage in Los Angeles, it was only fitting that in 1987, Stan Chambers received his very own star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame.